Welcome to this explainer breaking down Architects of Innovation, the AI Builder Academy. I am absolutely thrilled to be your guide today. You know, if you're tuning in, it means you're stepping into a pretty incredible new phase within the Agua Fria district. We are talking about a real transition here, going from just being an everyday user of tech to becoming a true architect of it. We're going to dive into what this academy is all about, this powerful new credential you can earn, and the very real impact you're going to make on your campus. The orientation for the academy kicks off with a really powerful statement. You are here because someone in this district recognized something in you. Seriously, take a second to let that sink in. This isn't just your standard generic welcome message, right? It's a real acknowledgement of your growth. You've clearly moved way past using AI as just some fun novelty or a shortcut to draft an email. You started to see the real potential. You realize how it can literally automate those tedious, mind-numbing tasks and accelerate the really hard work we do every single day. The fact is, you're ready to build tools that serve your students and colleagues in ways that honestly weren't even possible a few years ago. And hey, that progression, it's been noticed. That's exactly why you're here.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our blueprint for earning your certification. First up, the builder's permit. Then, why we build safely. Next, your 3-step roadmap. After that, the capstone project. And we'll wrap up with Built by Educators.
So, part 1, the builder's permit. This is all about formal recognition. Now, this permit is the ultimate goal of your journey here, and we really need to understand what it is you'll be earning. See, the AI Builder Academy isn't just a quick tech tutorial. It's a full-blown credentialing program. When you cross the finish line, you will hold the Agua Fria District Builder's Permit. Basically, it's a formal recognition from the Department of AI and Innovative Solutions that proves you've got the skills and, most importantly, the judgment to build software responsibly. I absolutely love the analogy they use for this. It operates just like a driver's permit, but for the district network. Now, having a driver's permit doesn't mean you're suddenly an expert race car driver, right? But it does mean you've demonstrated the foundational knowledge to drive safely. You've earned the right to operate in traffic. And that's exactly what this permit represents for software development in our district. And this really perfectly illustrates the whole balance of power and responsibility. Earning this permit grants you some amazing capabilities. You get to deploy Google Apps Script projects, you get access to GitHub Copilot for district development, and you get the authority to share internal web apps with your colleagues. A real game changer. But, and this is a big but, it does not grant you blanket permission to just build whatever without review. It doesn't give you direct access to production databases, and it definitely doesn't exempt you from district AI policies and care evaluations. So think of it as a really solid foundational starting point. It's an enabler, not a free pass. Moving right along to part 2, why we build safely. It's time to understand the guardrails. So here's the absolutely crucial point. Our district is literally full of people who care deeply about students and who have incredible, innovative ideas to help them. Finding good ideas has never been the problem. The real challenge is bridging the gap between having that great idea and actually having the knowledge to build it safely. Because when we build without the right support and structure, well, there are some very real consequences. For example, tools built without a deep understanding of FERPA, those can easily create severe data exposure risks, and protecting student privacy is paramount. Or scripts deployed without a proper review. That can lead to major compliance vulnerabilities. And think about this. What happens when someone builds a really complex automation, but then they change roles or leave the district? If there's no documentation, that tool instantly becomes completely unmaintainable. And honestly, the saddest part is when talented builders who just don't have a clear, recognized pathway simply stop building. They run out of support. Well, the builder's permit is the district's direct answer to solving that exact problem. Which brings us to part 3, your 3-step roadmap. Let's look at your path forward. Before we break down the specific modules, it's super important to clarify who this roadmap is actually for. This course is specifically designed for district staff who are at phase 3 through 5 on the AI literacy continuum. So what does that actually mean for you? Basically, it means you know what prompts are, and you've already been experimenting with AI in your own day-to-day workflow. But here's the single most important takeaway. This course does not assume you have ever written a single line of code in your life. Seriously, you just need to have a conceptual familiarity with what AI tools can do and know your way around Google Workspace, Sheets, Gmail, Drive. Honestly, some of the absolute most effective builders in the Agua Fria district come from teaching backgrounds, not technical ones. It's your judgment, your care, and your knowledge of the classroom that matter most here. All right, let's see how this all builds up, module by module.
Your roadmap is broken down into 3 highly focused steps. Step 1 is build safe. This is Module 1, and it's all about laying down that absolute bedrock legal, ethical, and policy foundation that every responsible builder needs in a public school setting. You gotta know the rules before you can play the game, right? Then we move to Step 2, build smart. This is the really fun part where we put the actual tools in your hands. We're talking Google Apps Script, using Sheets as a data layer, creating web apps, and integrating AI directly into your projects. Finally, Step 3 is build big. Module 3 introduces GitHub, larger project architecture, and the kind of advanced tools that let you level up from simple single-script automations to full, robust applications. It is a perfectly logical, structured progression designed to set you up for total success.
And that leads us to Part 4, the capstone project, your final demonstration.
So all that structured progression leads us right here to the capstone. And I want to be crystal clear about this because the Academy orientation stresses it beautifully. The capstone is not a test. You're not sitting down to pass or fail an exam. It is a demonstration. This is your big opportunity to build a real tool that solves a very real problem in your current role. You're going to build this tool, submit it through GitHub, and then it gets reviewed by the Department of AI and Innovative Solutions. And guess what? That successful review is exactly what triggers the issuance of your builder's permit. It's totally hands-on, it's incredibly practical, and it instantly adds real value to your daily work.
Finally, Part 5, built by educators, a real-world proof of concept. Okay, this is truly inspiring, and it's the ultimate proof of concept behind this entire program. The actual AI Builder Academy platform, the very system you will be using to learn all this stuff, was actually built by a district staff member. And get this, they built it using the exact tools and principles you are about to learn in this course. The whole shebang is entirely powered by AppScript, Google Sheets, and AI integrations. The person who designed the content tracking, the notification system, all of it, they weren't some professional software developer. They were an educator right here in the district, sitting exactly where you are right now, who just saw a problem worth solving and had the drive to build something that simply didn't exist yet. It is literal proof that everything you are going to learn is genuinely 100% achievable. Which really leaves us with just one final, provocative question as we wrap up this explainer. You've already got the ideas. You are about to get the tools, the support, and the recognized authority to execute those ideas safely. You are literally stepping into the role of a true architect of innovation. So as you head off to start Module 1, what problem will you solve first? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy building.